Hey there, YouTubers. There's your zip code freak. Matt Shaini in the 92805 in Anaheim, California, the world headquarters for the ZCF organization, such as it is. And we're up and ready for another zip code extravaganza. Woohoo! Here we are. I thought if I'm going to be zip code freak, I may as well live up to the billing, right? Anyway, today's state, and as I told you folks that are diehard fans of the Zip Code Freak program, that we're going to do zip codes all ending in 23 for each state. I was planning on taking the whole year to do this, but I might speed it up a bit because there's other things I even more want to do than this as far as the Zip Code Freak channel. It won't all be about zip codes. Believe it or not, it's not just about those for me. There's other kind of codes I like too. In any event, the state we're looking at today is Kentucky. For those of you not familiar with United States geography, if you look at a map of the United States correctly, it looks kind of like a misshapen chicken leg, which is very interesting because one of our chains in this country is KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken. It looks like a misshapen chicken leg that's kind of to the right and more or less in the middle of the country, but it's still considered a southern state because of its heritage and because it used to hold slaves. But then again, all of the United States states had slaves at one time. Of other races besides just the one people commonly think of. In any event, Kentucky entered into the Union in 1792. It was the 15th state. And its largest city is Louisville on the Ohio River in the north, the top part of the state. And it also has Lexington, has Elizabethtown, has a few other places, Paducah in the west. We're not going to be looking at any of those regions today. Today's zip code, which is 40823, is in what's known as Appalachia, or Appalachia, really. The Appalachian Mountains run more or less parallel with the east coast of the United States. They're known as by different names depending upon where you are in the country, and through the southern part of the country, they're called the Appalachians. And this place, 40823, is Cumberland and also Benham, Kentucky. They both are firmly in Appalachia. In fact, the elevation of the city greatly differs from, even though it's a very small square mileage city, 3.5 square miles, it covers everything from 1,400 feet at what was called the Poor Fork River, where it was founded in 1837, up to 2,700 feet at the top of Pine Mountain. That's just city limits, folks. That's pretty interesting, actually, for a city to have that much variation in elevation. But it also gives a clue as to why the place was called Poor Fork at first. It was named after the river, the fork of the Cumberland River, and it was called Poor Fork because the soil there was not very good for growing anything, and the area was pretty isolated until the railroads came through in the beginning of the 1900s, and it found its way through coal mining, as much of this part of the state, eastern Kentucky, is. It had a spike in the 20s. Its name was changed to Cumberland in 1926, and once more of the coal was mined from the mountains, people started moving away. And today, the city has a population of 1,947 as of the 2020 census. There are about almost as many more in the zip code area, which, as I said, includes Benham and some areas around about. That's Benham, Benham. And they have there what's known as the Kingdom Come State Park. They have their Kingdom Come Swappin' Meetin', as well as a Black Bear Festival. And I'm going to say this part advisedly. I've only ever been to northern Kentucky, and that was on a trip many decades ago with my family going to Michigan. So I don't have personal experience here. The stats read that the area has a 33% poverty rate. That's federal standards. Federal standards don't tell the whole story of a people and its place by any means. I do read of what they call the make-do culture of this area and much of the Appalachians, and I think that's admirable myself. There's a lot I don't know how to make do with in many areas of life. And, of course, that also means 67% of the people are not below the federal poverty line. So people are making do one way or the other in Cumberland. Anyway, this is just to whet your appetite to get into more of Appalachia and Eastern Kentucky. If you like, hit subscribe. If you don't like, please let me know anyway. I appreciate it. I know sometimes we can get into pretty sensitive subjects here on the ZCF channel. But in any event, I appreciate any and all feedback, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a good evening.